So listen, man, I seen a clip on Facebook today, and I was compelled to react to it, but it cut off at a certain point, so I went and found. You see how deep I had to dig? It's 10 months back. I had to find a full podcast and figure out where it was at in the podcast. It was at the very end. And we'll just get straight to it. You seen the title, so whatever I titled, this shit alludes to what it is. Let's get to it.
Out for free. You're not paying. I'm not getting out at Cheesecake Factory. Where your ass getting outside the highway? I don't understand that man. That man run me hot. Or you know what? He should have rolled to a nice restaurant, got out the car as soon as she got out, locked the door with the little bleep bleep, and then walked around, unlocked it with a key, got in and left. For real, you should be appreciative of date.
I think both sides should be. Because
so why do men pay? RC, so why do men pay all the time? Why is it assumed that men have to pay?
I think it's the structure. The structure that was created initially,
yes.
And that structure can change. We
So,
are getting to a point.
roles.
Now we are getting to a point, like, and I see these different stories where it's like these CEOs and these different women who live these lives and who are having to date men who, from a financial standpoint or from an accomplishment standpoint, aren't on the same level as them. And in those situations, the women that being the breadwinner, they are paying for the dates and doing these different things. And you know, they homegirls probably be like, girl, you know he work at Waffle House, but I love him,
yeah.
and they be with him, right? Mm-hmm. Because we've been doing that a lot. Like, you know, it's a lot of us. Like, you be athletes and they be like raggedy, but they be good looking and sweet, and you take them and you bring them up with you.
Yeah.
So women are now doing that. The problem is this though. I'm gonna say this. I know we gotta close. You know what I do not like? Like, Ariana Grande just got divorced, right? Mm-hmm. She got to pay her ex-husband $1.2 million.
Actually.
You ain't sing a note. Mary J. Blige had to pay her husband. Adele had to pay her husband.
No.
Bro, I don't believe. Unless they tell you, unless you become a house husband, right? Or some sort of stay-at-home dad, them women don't owe you no money. All these people who they were when you met them.
See, you supported them through their career.
But you didn't support them.
You did supported them through their career. I'm speaking from the athlete side. No, why Ariana Grande was out there singing and touring. He was at home. He was making sure the pool man came. He making sure the lawn man came. He's making sure the groceries are in the refrigerator. He's making sure the kids get to school on time. He is supporting life while she is performing and working the world. He sacrificed his life so she could go sing songs on a stage.
And that's what you call a FTS.
Shooting in the gym. It's both ways,
Flip
RC.
the script.
Yep. He was helping, supporting her at home while she was working on the road.
I'm disgusted with both of you.
No,
That's what it is.
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it. I agree with it. No, because it got to go both ways. Because if the woman gets alimony, if the rich man gives the woman alimony and child support and all that, the rich woman should give the man alimony, child support, and everything. It goes both ways.
What if the woman? The kids don't even go with him.
Well, alimony still. It was a certain life I held, RC. If me and you got married and you left me, you put me in a certain house, and I need that same size house.
That 30%, baby.
I'm disgusted.
And it's another thing. It's called going Scottish.
I'm done.
Where everybody pay for their own food at the gym.
You done got him to cross his legs.
I'm leaving.
You weren't with me shooting in the gym. You weren't with me singing on the stage.
And see, that's the double standard. Buddy with the dreads or the locks and the other guy with the hat, you know, they was right. Those two guys were right. When it comes down to it, we doing all this equality, all this feminism, but when it comes down to it, it's all selective. It's about cherry picking the good stuff, and then, you know, when it comes to flipping the script, as the guy said, that's when it becomes a problem. You know, you can't highlight that and not highlight all the dudes who done got ripped up by divorces and stuff like that. You can't highlight that because these rich women are an extreme minority. This impacts men way more, and guess what? Guys get ripped up in the course something crazy, get their life destroyed by all this stuff, bro. That's what it is with these divorces, bro. With this child support, alimony, all that, like the settlements, whatever, like it's crazy. The money is crazy. Now, this is another thing I want to get off. You know, the guy in the pink. I was trying to find a clip because I did a video of him on another channel before. I couldn't find it. But dude is a certified simp, I'm not gonna lie. You ever hear somebody that's a man like take certain stances and you just really can't believe what they saying, and you could tell it's almost performative, and it's almost like they wife is right over their shoulder and they just like really biased. They're trying to say something that would sound good to their wife or their daughter. That's what it's coming off as. I personally don't respect that. I'm not even about to go super deep. Listen, man, I woke up before I seen that video, and this is why I made this video. I seen a mediocre tutorials and reviews video. Watch the intro. It really just effed my head up early this morning.
Is there a claim that the charges themselves are fraudulent in some way?
One thing we might seek down the road is an itemization of exactly how this child support is being spent, this $5,392 per month.
Dr. Kroll makes probably at least 4 times as much as my client. I'll just go through, for example, a list of expenses for these children that my client has borne the sole responsibility for.
It's been tough. Chris doesn't help with any support for anything extra on top of the child support. And yeah.
Dr. Kroll has recently purchased $1 million house. My client recently had to sell the marital home that she was awarded so that she can support these children.
We have beliefs that this entire litigation is a attempt to increase the child support obligation.
Listen, I don't know or care where they live. The way somebody broke it down, because I'm not about to do the math, you making over $5,000 per month. That's 70-something K. It's in the 70K range. As an individual with an individual income, you could definitely raise kids with 70K. Let's put on top of that this woman works in the medical industry. I'd hate to think that she is old and she is just an STNA or like a LPN or something like that. I would like to think that she is a nurse at least, but it's possible that she could have one of those other ones. But listen, you got income as far as an annual salary on top of the 70K. On top of the 70, there should be no issues at all. But what it becomes is a lot of these women become extremely opportunistic when they're done with these guys. And the thing is, and this is the issue, fucking legendary simps who were, in these positions to let these laws pass and stuff like that in the past, they really ruined marriage. They really ruined marriage. Women are incentivized to leave because it's typically the women who pretty much file the divorces, and on top of that, all these chicks want a provider and they want a guy that's superior to them regardless. So if he is that, then, she's going to be able to take something from him when it's all said and done. And this is the thing. A lot of these chicks do it because they can. A lot of these chicks try to exploit the system because they know they can get away with it. A lot of these chicks date opportunistically with this in mind. And they tell you stuff like, but see, this is the thing. When it's happening, and this is why I look at dudes like this, like Turbo Simp, because you'll never see him speak on the other side. But when you look at this side, the conversation really happens in spaces like this where you're seeing this at. It's a very quiet conversation. You don't see it on mainstream TV where people are really blowing down on chicks for this type of stuff and saying that they wrong and holding them accountable. You don't see that, especially even if you say, okay, yeah, I do see that. It's extremely rare. It's extremely rare. But the reason I mentioned just the conversation and the coverage is because nobody is saying that these chicks is wrong. Nobody is telling them you a dog ass bitch. Nobody is shaming them. And even then, doesn't matter. They're still going to do it because they're like, shame is going to stop you from getting a bag? No. Now, when you look at before these marriages even happen, discussions of prenups and how to introduce prenups and even just social conversations about prenups happen. You know, so you can have the actual conversation with the engaged woman, the fiance, about the prenup, and you could also have just 8 people sitting in a room, men and women, talking about, would you get a prenup? What about a prenup? All this stuff. Women will gaslight guys and give so much pushback. And even then, this is the thing, guys are fucking stupid. A lot of guys are fucking stupid. They are simps. And they are just going to go with the grain because they don't want to lose out on the possibility of some pussy. So they will back the women. And what they say is stuff like, you know, if you going in looking to get a prenup, you looking to fail. Why are you even thinking about failing? And they say a bunch of other rhetoric like that that is easily countered, but it's one of those things like first off, if we look at it, you know, 70% of the divorces or more are filed by women. So the vast majority are filed by women. But then on top of that, so the guys are the ones asking for a prenup. This is a guy conversation. Even then, on top of that, I just want to throw this out there. Dr. Dre, he got a prenup and stuff like that. It got thrown out because even though it was 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, when they did the prenup, she said it was signed under duress, had it thrown out. But listen, the main point is the guys who didn't get prenups and got took up top, like the guy in the video clip that I just showed, they absolutely wished that they got prenups. The guys who didn't get prenups, they look at themselves more than likely as stupid to some degree, because it's like, how could I think that this wasn't going to happen? This will never happen again. I'm not falling for this twice if I do get married again, et cetera, all types of thoughts like that. When it comes down to it, it's funny when you really look at what it is. It's really you trying to protect yourself from the person that you are about to be married to, in case you guys decide, or just even in case one of you decides that you no longer want to be married anymore and be apart from each other and go your separate ways. What it really is she doesn't have to set anything up to where when she ends up in that situation, it's like, like the Denzel meme. I'm not leaving here with it. I'm taking something. I'm not leaving here with nothing. Like, she's going to take a piece of something, but not only that, she is going to continue to take from you continuously after the marriage. So she doesn't have to do anything to get in that position. All she has to do is get married, and then boom, that's it. That's all she has to do. And the whole guise of marriage is that it's under love, and it's a spiritual bond, and, you know, till death do us part, and we do the vows and all that stuff. And all that shit goes out the window when she decides she's done. So for her to get to a point where she has leverage, all she has to do is get married. That's it. For a guy to kill that leverage, for a guy to keep himself from being put in a situation where he could be financially crippled, cooked, put on a hibachi stove, he has to get that prenup, which is why conversations are all around that prenup. We don't discuss divorce laws. We don't discuss, you know, reforming them or anything like that, or just abolishing them or anything like that. That is not a public discussion. That is not a big discussion that is being had on big platforms anywhere. It just is what it is. And the nasty part is, you know, what marriage used to be is not what it is anymore. So you just got to take it with a grain of salt, look at it, and figure out if that's something that you want to do, but you can't do it without knowing the risk that you run, especially if you're a established man, if you already got some chicken, if you already got some paper. For the people who don't understand that, if you already got a good high income, If you making 50,000, which I know that's not high. If you making 50,000, if you making 70,000, if you making 120,000, especially anything beyond 120,000, if you making 150,000, 175,000 a year, and you get married, bro, the chick better be bringing in a crazy amount of money as well. She better be bringing in 6 figures herself if you decide to do that. And even then, that still doesn't take away the risk. It's just like, bro, like what we got to do, get on some Kevin Federline shit, find baller ass bitches. Everybody got to find a baller ass bitch. I guess that's what it is, man. But listen, let me know your thoughts. I'm out.